this just real life, or is this just fantasy? The phenomenon of cosplay has come to Irish shores all the way from Japan and is gaining in popularity.
But what exactly is cosplaying? Can it just be classed as dress up for grown-ups? Well, here to tell us more are Amy King, Fiona O'Reilly and Melissa O'Brien, who are in their costumes. Yes, this is normally how you go out to get a bit of shopping in.
Yes.
Well, maybe it is. What is cosplay?
Yeah, it's basically, it came from Japan. The word itself translates costume and play. Okay. So it's like, you make the costume, but you also act out the character. And it's growing very much in Ireland. It's people think it's fancy dress, but it's kind of fancy dress taken to a whole new level.
Okay.
As in, like, people put a lot of work and dedication in their costumes.
Well, we see your character up here. What's her name? What's
it's Cece from Code Geass, from Japanese animation Code Geass. She's a temptress witch. She's quite flirty, but she's very mysterious. And
can I just ask, is she from an animation that would be for children or for grown-ups?
Grown-ups.
Okay,
grown-ups.
For grown-ups.
Is she on a television in a cartoon, or is it a comic, or how?
It originally was a Japanese animation, a cartoon in Japan, and it became then a manga comic.
And why did you decide to pick her?
I was just a fan of Code Geass. Like, I'm a really big Japanese manga anime fan, and I love the culture, and I was very attracted to her image, and I loved her personality, like just being kind of mysterious and fun, and I just loved the green hair and the yellow eyes, and I thought she was real fun. I do love that costume as well.
Okay. Is she somebody you would like to be, or are you actually like her?
I can be like her.
Well, you have your moments.
Yeah, I have my moments, yeah.
Okay. Well, Fiona, you're into it obviously, well, Melissa too, but what got you into it?
I got into it quite a late stage, considering some of the fans that you see at anime conventions, but it was when I was about 19, I think it was. I'm 26 now, so I've been doing it for a few years. And I went to Erticon, which is one of the first anime conventions that was ever held in Ireland, and I actually met Amy there. Mm-hmm. And I was cosplaying for the first time. I'd read about it online, and I thought, oh, am I going to be out of place doing this at the convention? I picked a character that had a kind of a sedated costume. It was only kind of black and white. It wasn't anything too exciting. So I tried that out, and I went, and everyone was doing it. So nearly, if I hadn't been in cosplay, I would have been a weirdo, you know, I would have stood out. And I met Amy there, and she'd been doing it for a year or two before me, and we got chatting, and ever since then I've just become embroiled in the scene. I can't get away from it now.
Because we're familiar, like I said, I'm dad to 4 boys, so we're familiar with the likes of Pokemon.
Yeah.
That would be for the kids. This is for the adults. Melissa, how did you get into it?
Well, I started off reading Japanese comic books just because my brother had them, and then looking online, something new to read, and I seen people dress as certain characters I like, so I was like, what is this? And I went into researching it, and I found there was a convention in Ireland, so I was like, sure, it sounds like fun, so I decided to make a costume for it and just go, and then ever since I've been doing it.
And when you go to these conventions and you're dressed up in your favourite characters, you know, what do you do at them? Do you do role playing, or do you walk around?
It depends on the person, really, I think. I mean, I find with even the three of us, I think it's strange when you find people that get really in-depth into it. You'd have people walking around in costume, but as the character for
like
the entire
they'd speak
day.
as the character as well, where I would be more just dress up, pose for a photo, and act like myself. Like, I don't... I'll act like it if I need to be on stage, but there is some people who will literally talk like the character when they're talking to you and introduce them as their character.
I find that fun. I really enjoy it. I think it's like very atmospheric, and I can be a bit like that. Like, if I meet CC, I'll walk around the con, flick my hair back, and just be kind of confident and all, and I just really enjoy it. And then it depends. Enjoy that.
You're almost able to hide behind the character.
Well, you're being somebody else for a day. That's the great thing.
It really
cosplay.
comes out if someone. I think the funniest thing is when you're walking around a convention, and obviously not a lot of people are going to know you, and say my character would be called Bad Girl, and all of a sudden I'd hear over my shoulder, Bad Girl, someone shouting at me, you know, saying, oh, I love you, you're brilliant. But speaking about my character, obviously they don't know me personally, but you get a bit of a kick out of it, you know. There's more interaction between people because you're dressed in costume, and then obviously when they ask for a photo, that's when I would get into character. You know, you learn the poses of the character, how they'd hold themselves, how they'd act, and then you portray that when you're getting your photograph taken.
Okay.
You're not going to walk into a shop and buy these costumes. You've got to make them yourself. Yours looks as if it took quite a while to make.
Mine took 5 days to make, actually. I made it for Experience Japan because I was helping Amy with a showcase. But I make all my own cosplays. Like, I never bought one ever. Even I remember my first costume I made, and I'd never put it on again because it was when it was at the beginning, so I didn't really know what to do. But now I've got more into it because I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years now.
Okay, well, fashion design is something you...
I'm studying costume design actually at the moment at IADT. I'm in my first year.
I presume the costumes probably cost a bit if you could buy them, or
Yeah, you can buy
probably
them
have to buy them
online.
in Japan, do you?
I mean, Melissa's one of the most talented people in Ireland that would make them. I'm not that great with sewing, so my mum introduced me to a seamstress that she goes to, Eileen.
So what?
And she makes mine for me, but she loves it. I mean, when I approached her, first of all, she thought it was hilarious. I thought she normally just kind of does hems and trousers and things, and I brought in a picture saying, can you make this for me? But she loves doing it.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you ever get any weird responses from people, you know, when you're out in costume going, you know, what are you doing? It's not Halloween, or, you know.
Oh, well, yeah, you...
I take her on stairs and like, yeah.
Yeah, the looks are...
Well, it is developing. And Amy and Fiona, you've set up a Facebook page. Your convention, though, is growing and growing and growing to the point where you've got to move to a new venue this year. Where's that going to be?
We're going to Croke Park
Wow.
for Airtcon 2013.
And that's
So-
on when?
That's on November, and we had to move. We were in the Helix in DC last year, as I said. We were getting such a bigger crowd. It kept growing and growing and growing, and last year we tallied up the amount of attendees we had, and we reached nearly 2,000. I mean, we were nearly at capacity at the Helix, so we decided this year, okay, we have to up our game a bit, so we're moving to Croke Park, to the convention centre there, so change the scene. Hopefully it'll attract even more people. So
Because it's huge in Japan and the States,
Yeah.
and slowly, you know, gaining popularity here.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
much bigger.
it's great to see it growing. Like we have Facebook, well, it's the Cosplay Ireland Facebook, which is a great way to educate people what cosplay is, and we put documentaries, videos, and like, you know, events, conventions coming up.
Okay.
And there's Experience Japan Festival that was on back in April, and we had like the cosplay stage show, which Melissa took part in, she mentioned, and it was just young and old people at the festival, and I found it very
it's
colourful.
going to grow and grow and develop.
Yeah, it's
even further.
fantastic.
Well, best
More
luck with this.
conventions.
You certainly educated us. I'd never heard of cosplay. I don't know about you.
No, I was used to Beyblade and, like I said, Pokemon, but these are new characters, and we thank you for coming in to talk to us today.
Oh, thank
Thanks
you
for having us.
Thank you.
And don't forget, if you've missed any of the programme, you can catch it online at tv3.ie/3player. And that's it from us for today. On tomorrow's show, we'll be finding out what life was like for workers in Ireland's big houses.
And it's nearly the weekend, so we'll be sending you off in style with the best clips from the web this week. But for now, the Midday Girls are up next, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 11.